Now these bishops are not a bunch of radicals, right? They're a group of the ecclesial hierarchy in the various parts of the Anglican Communion. A very respectable group, well dressed, and they have adopted a series of resolutions on marriage and family. If you look at this first, or this top row, you see that on contraception, in 1908, 1920, and 1930, the bishops said that the use of contraception to control family size was impermissible. And then, after not saying anything at the 1948 conference, in 1958 and 1968, they said the use of contraception is okay for controlling family size. In 1958, what they said was that the decision about whether contraception is acceptable as a method of controlling family size is best left to the family itself in the council of their local clergy. The church has been thinking about the ordination of women for a long time, and you see that in 1920, 1930, and 1948, the Lambeth Conference of Bishops said no to women's ordination to the priesthood. Women were being ordained to a type of diaconate, but they were the bishops declined to endorse ordination to priesthood. But then, in 1958, they hinted that they might be thinking about this, and in 1968, they said we had to study this matter. They recognized that the question of women's ordination to the priesthood was a subject of disagreement in the church, and it needed to be thought about. But then by 1978, some ordinations of women had already occurred, and the bishops accepted those ordinations, asking bishops throughout the communion to think carefully about the extent to which they could maintain the highest degree of communion possible with parts of the communion, provinces where women were being ordained, even though they could not in principle themselves endorse that treatment of women. On one feature of the traditional notion of marriage and family, the Lambeth Conference of Bishops has said no consistently. I'll give a little bit more detail about that in a second.